We are back, and as I usually say, you just can't get rid of us. Over the last session, the players have made their way out of Breland, and for some of the party members, it is the very first time they've left this area. So this is gonna be good. This is feudal tourism at its best. Now, don't forget, they are carrying a item of significant value handed off to them by the Boromar clan. So, if the players think that they're not going to be followed, they might be followed. Spoiler alert.
Dun,
But-
dun, dun.
Wait, we should have been worried about that?
Nah, don't worry about it at all. It's okay. Don't worry. Just
Oh.
forget I said everything.
Mm-hmm.
For that matter, players, is there anything in particular you would like to highlight from the last session that stands out as we get ready for the next leg of your journey?
I want to highlight and emphasize the fact that the entire party was worried about Fennec on a train, and nothing happened.
No, that's not true.
As far as we know.
Lebanon didn't say 2 words to you on the train.
But Fennec himself did not. He sat in the car and waited. And even with an escort to the bathroom, thanks to Gearfried, he actually went to the bathroom.
Now that I think about it, Levin didn't even ask after your character on the train.
Yeah, see, this is why we have trouble trusting Levin. Or questioning him.
Questioning.
Questioning, yes. Not trusting, questioning. I apologize.
So wait, you'd rather him question you? You want the third
No.
degree? So wait, hold on. You don't trust him for not questioning you, but you don't want him to...
Correct.
I'm confused here. All right. Okay.
Do you think he's gonna do something?
Again, just binge watched John Wick.
I mean, Sarah's pretty much has a good read on him as far as he's been acting for you guys. It's like, no, just we'll make a decision. He'll roll with it.
Anybody else? So we have Fennec wanting to highlight he was a good boy on the train.
He
didn't
also
get
joined the
into no
union.
trouble. Okay, you signed a contract? Or are we counting verbal
Believe so.
agreements?
Shook hands.
Gentleman's handshake.
Not only did he sign the contract, but we're going to have a pretty long discussion a little later about one of those terms, aren't we, Fennec?
Absolutely.
You were about to say my character's name, weren't you?
Bree has a highlight. Zarya does not want the highlight mentioned.
Does it have anything to do with an old lady on the train who had a reaction towards you?
Mm-hmm.
Or
Oh.
potential change in uniform?
No! Fuck off.
Oh god, that was great. So, yes, for context, Zarya entered the dining room and there was this old woman who, I believe she dropped and broke her glass and stared at you with a surprised expression. After some questioning, she did walk off and was never heard from again.
Hmm.
Any other highlights that stand out for your characters' perspectives?
I know that at one point after the outfit change, Fennec burned the image of Zarya and the outfit to Gearfried. But that's it.
Alright. Some other minor things, the players were able to make their way towards the last stop before entering Thrain, which was the end of the coverage of the Boromar clan's generosity. Once there, they got onto Carpe Diem, and they traveled for the first length of their journey. Unfortunately for the players, though, after being on the train for 44 hours, they are now going to have to do about a month and a half's worth of travel to get to Karnath. That isn't accounting for the journey into Karnath itself. So, we are going to see what the players get into in the middle of nowhere. Because knowing them, they're going to do something interesting.
What does that mean?
I don't know. You guys do interesting things.
You do.
You're not boring. I mean, compliment. Take it as you will.
Occasionally, there's fire involved.
Right?
When isn't there fire involved?
I'm assuming
There's
you
a-
see something moving, you're going to try to kill it. I mean, that's just my general assumption. Levin's going to spy on it. You're probably going to attack it.
Ceres will torture it.
See?
Punch, punch.
We all have our roles and our assumptions. So, we are going to start off with just a bit of roleplay as you come across the first night. I am not going to ask for your watch. It is going to be an uneventful night. If you would really like to have watches for specific one-on-one conversations, that is also applicable, and then we can do that within the roleplay time.
I feel like this would be a good chance for Fennec and Gearfried to discuss their contract.
So with that,
I wholeheartedly agree.
we're going to say that it is now nighttime. Levin had just returned from the darkness due to his cloak of elven kind. He vanishes within the darkness. So you would kind of see him reappearing, and you would be able to have set up your camp. Would you be setting up with a fire?
I feel that kind of defeats the purpose.
Yeah, I mean, I can see, so.
And then you have been paying attention.
Alrighty, so I'm going to assume then you're all just kind of sitting in Carpe Diem as it is kind of not pitch black because it is a clear night, the moon is full, so there is some sources of light besides the glowing kyber crystals that power your vehicle. What would you guys like to do?
Gearfried will walk up to Ceres at some point in the night, kind of whistling a sort of jaunty tune, and eventually... You guys hear me?
Yes.
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 Okay, sorry, I was getting some weird echo. Gearfried will walk up to Ceres singing or whistling a just sort of jaunty tune, and Ceres, you'll notice at one of those notes, there's like a little jostle in your knife, and the infusion ball that I have in there in the hilt, it just pops out and comes back to Gearfried, and he holds it up. And, really sorry to do this, Ceres, but, there's been a change in Union policy. And he's going to look over towards Fennec.
Really?
Do you want to tell me the terms, or shall I?
There is
It might be, I think it might be better coming. And make sure you have a close, like a nice, firm grip on that dagger.
Well, it's not the dagger I have. I've just got the little ball that popped out of it. In a nutshell, Fennec here would only be willing to join the Union should I aid him in his efforts to receive a certain embrace from a certain Ceres. So, until he gets that hug, you're unfortunately not going to be getting this infusion back.
Really?
And Fennec's just gonna fold his arms and grin.
She pulls out a hand crossbow and points it at Fennec.
I've got Revivify, I can bring him back.
Now that I'm in the Union, you shoot me down, I become more powerful than you can even possibly imagine. And he's gonna put up a fist, like for Gearfried for a fist bump.
Gearfried reciprocates.
She puts the hand crossbow away. Enjoy your little game.
Enjoy
It's a
what?
nice dagger. Enjoy your little game. It's a nice dagger, I won't lie. I did enjoy it. But I got by without it before. I can get by without it now.
It's Coach. She's reliant on the luxury now. She's nothing without the throwing dagger that comes back to her.
Mm-hmm. She's acting all tough.
I can just shoot you with crossbow bolts. Does the same thing, and I can just walk up and take my bolts back after you're dead.
By the veil, could the lot of you have this argument away from the cart?
No.
What argument? We're just negotiating.
Also, don't blame us that we can't see you. You're quite literally invisible. I have no idea where you are.
Levin's gonna get out of the carpet diem with his blanket around him, and he's just gonna relocate.
Wait, you've been here the whole time?
Yeah, didn't you see him come back to Carpe Diem?
No.
I literally walked in front of all of you.
Damn, you're good.
I saw him. He wasn't trying to hide.
That's how good he is.
Or unobservant you are.
I'll be
And he's gonna point towards a random tree or rock outcropping in the area.
I'll be over there.
Fair enough.
You'll also see Mei Li kind of sitting in a meditative trance, but she kind of has a smile on her face as if she's amused and not actually meditating. But for any real confirmation of that, you'd have to do an insight check.
I will do that. Insight?
Indeed.
Cyrus is content to accept the situation at face value.
I'm actually okay at insight. Except for when it comes to melee.
Ultimately,
Tall.
you're able to glean that it's not something that's mocking you. It's just amusement at the situation.
Enjoying the show, are we?
She's not going to respond.
And he's just gonna do the whole, like, the point to his eyes and then at her, even though she can't see it. I see you.
Anyhow, you should go get a good night's rest after Levin gets his 4 hours in. I'm taking a nap, and I want it quiet while I sleep.
Sure.
With that, is there anything anybody else would like to do?
Oh.
Alrighty. Starting off, we're going to time skip ahead. As said, this night is going to be relatively uneventful. You are going to wake up. The skies are going to be gray. It's going to be windy. It almost appears as if a storm is approaching. Whereas you're currently traveling northbound, the wind is heading against you in a more southeastern breeze. It is Dawn's Light. Who's going to be taking the first shift of driving Carpe Diem?
Cyrus will.
Alrighty. So, is there anything you guys would like to do before you leave?
Levin's pretty good right now. He's had everything packed and squared away, so...
Just gonna let her drive. Cool.
Right? No argument. I was expecting at least a little bit.
I'll drive.
No, Cyrus already called it.
Levin
Yeah,
has
you-
seen Sarah's controlled vehicles before, and so far, he's only had experience with her and Gearfried at the helm. So, no, he's pretty okay. If you're gonna kill him, there are much faster and easier ways to do it.
Well, Zarya's already driven at this driven at this point, and she's all right.
Might I remind the party how the last vehicle Saris drove ended up?
I would like to point out there were many buildings on the way to that docking port, and we were in a fight. We arrived alive, intact, and victorious.
But how will we know how I drive if you don't let me the opportunity?
Gearfried stumbles back in. Sorry, I saw a stray cat out there. It was thrown up. I was interested in whatever that was going on over there. Saris, why are you in the driver's seat right now?
Just back, relax, let it happen.
Yeah, there's nothing you can really scratch it against. This place is this like a wasteland, or is this like a mountainous, hilly region?
Currently, where you are, it's a little foresty, so it's not that it's a dense forest, but there are sparse trees wide enough that you can pass by with vehicles.
Well, there's really not much you can run into unless you're in the forest, so just stay clear of any trees.
See, that's why I'm saying let me drive the open space.
Fennec, I say this not out of any form of disrespect, but I didn't make the initial vehicle to be operated by anyone who was of shorter stature, which, considering my family, was probably not the best choice, but we might need to buy some stilts if we put you in the driver's seat.
We'll add it to our to-do list.
Just give me an afternoon, I can craft some.
You can do it while we're on the go. This is your chance. Look, I'm helping.
Gearfried's going to take one of his, he's going to go to start, like, chopping down a small tree, and, like, the time is taking everyone else to do this, so that way he can, start fashioning some stilts for Fennec.
Alrighty.
And
Go ahead.
everyone's ready to go.
And give me what do you have wood carving tools?
That's a very good question. Let me check.
And then my follow-up question: are you proficient with wood carving tools?
Okay, going to BDD because Carpenter. I thought carpenter's tools would. Oh yeah, I'm proficient with both carpenter's and wood carver's tools.
Okay, if you have carpenter's tools, I will allow that as well. Go ahead and give me a check with your carpenter's tools.
And then GM, I have a
sorry,
question.
Gearfried. What is Gearfried trying to do here specifically?
Knock down a tree really quick, just so I can like start fashioning a pair of stilts for Fennec.
All right. Levin's gonna approach and offer help. Basically, if you got an extra axe, he'll help chop down the tree and maybe help with the shaping of the stilts.
I believe that was my 2 starting items. I don't actually. Hold on, I don't have an axe. Oi, Zarya, can you punch this tree real quick?
Zarya,
Zarya?
Are you actually trying to make her angry? Because that's not exactly a good point.
I mean, she's already been.
No, I'm serious. We have confirmation that she can punch trees into the ground.
Melee's
I need to cut down.
Melee's gonna pipe up and go. Didn't she get a ticket for that in Rote?
I see. That's what's gonna make Zarya angry.
Thank you, Millie.
DM question: how
Yes, sir.
big is Carpe Diem? Like, what size category would it be?
I'm gonna say it would be large.
Okay.
Because it's got to be big enough to fit you and the 4.
It's
normal
bigger than
size,
large
and then
because it.
I don't think it would be huge.
Well,
Well,
we're not going to be fighting on it.
That's what
Think
I
of it
mean.
as the El Camino of the Forgotten Realms.
Okay.
So I-
The
But large
conversation always
literally-
shifts to me when I go to the bathroom. Damn it.
Hey, listen. You got to go. You
The
got
large
to
is
go.
only 10 foot by 10 foot.
You
It's
bet
not a lot of
fight.
room for for a group of 7 people that includes Zarya.
It's convertible. You're fine.
All right.
There's one of those giant vans.
So Fennec is gonna look over to Sarah. All right. Give me 1 minute to drive. That's all I ask for. 1 minute.
No.
Well, as she says no, he's gonna cast Animate Object on Carpe Diem.
Okay, before we go to punching down trees, let's finish this part up. Go ahead. So you're animating the car.
Yep. And
What
he's
do
gonna
you do?
command it to move forward.
While
Okay.
she's sitting in the driver's seat?
Yep.
So, oh,
I love
that
and
appeared.
hate this.
And Ken, now this is as in now since the Carpe Diem is now technically a creature Fennec controls, can instead of an attack, can he have its action be to fasten her seatbelt so she can't move or stop it?
I'm gonna say no because there's no seatbelts.
So he's just gonna have it move forward to say, "I'm driving."
I thought you were gonna make
Uh,
it crash.
That
No, because it's
You're
going
free-
goes where I tell it.
Exactly.
Saris would like to step out of the driver's seat, walk up to Fennec with arms open for a hug.
Jeffrey.
So, as you're calling Gearfried, who is trying to in the process of helping, or convincing Zarya to knock down a tree for him, we're gonna pause again for that. You're gonna see your vehicle moving by itself. Oof. So, in this moment, we're gonna pause. We're gonna rewind about a minute. Zarya, you have Gearfried, who is calling after you, saying, "Hey, Gearfried, how are you going to ask Zarya to attempt to knock down the tree? Unless, Levin, do you have an axe?" I'm assuming.
Well, I was checking, and no, I neglected to pick up a set of carpenter's tools, so I wouldn't have an axe.
Alrighty.
Is an axe included in carpenter's tools?
Carpenter would need to split wood.
I think I have an axe.
I would
with
say
the carpenter's
I would
tools.
allow you to have axe within the carpenter's tools.
I have both carpenters, smiths, and wood carvers, and thieves' tools.
Would you still like to ask Zarya to help? And Zarya, if you were to see them trying to cut down a tree, would you offer to knock it down? Like, what would you guys like to do for that?
Well, if I have the tools, and the tools include the means to cut down the tree, then I would have just been like, I've got this covered. I can take care of it. I don't have any extras.
They could do it more efficiently than I can, probably. So,
I'm not cutting down
handle
a
it.
huge tree. I'm just cutting down something small. Fennec's not too big. I just need to make a pair of simple stilts.
Zarya knocked down a tree in 18 seconds. It's gonna take longer than that to chop it down with an axe.
Yeah, but if we want the wood to be usable and not
There's also
splintered,
that.
So go ahead and give me a strength check. You can argue a skill if you'd like.
Can I just roll with my carpenter tools in that thing?
Well, this is more on the lines to find out how long it's going to take you to cut down the tree.
Gotcha.
It's not you're
Okay.
you're going to cut down the tree. Like, that's not
Right.
going to happen. And then to shape it, I'm going to have you use the carpenter's tools for that. This is just sheer force. That's why I don't think
okay.
dexterity would apply.
I'm
well,
going to
if
guidance
we're
myself.
if we're using an axe, sure, but would you be using like a saw if it's a smaller tree?
Yeah, if it's a smaller tree, then maybe a saw. How should I phrase this?
What
I'm
would
going
you-
for like a simple tree you'd see in a park, not like a giant oak.
Okay, are you using a saw or are you using an axe?
If it's small enough, then I'll use a saw.
Okay, go ahead and use your carpenter's tools.
Sorry, I'm trying to find where they are in the...
Scroll down if you're using the Foundry character sheet.
Yeah, for some reason it's not showing up in Foundry. Oh wait, hold on. Am I holding? Might be my
In
back.
theory, it should just be the d20 plus your proficiency modifier plus your dexterity.
Okay, d20 plus proficiency modifier plus dexterity, and I think it's doubled for me because I'm a...
Yep. Which you're gonna need that.
I did use... Yeah, that's... Well, would guidance have worked on that? Because I did say I cast guidance.
Yes, guidance. would
And
work for that.
would my help towards either lowering the DC or applying advantage?
Again, this is also just for how long it takes you. So, for instance, if you roll low, it's only just that it's a thick piece of wood or a bit of a hard core. It just takes you a little bit longer. This isn't anything that is...
Oh, I'm just bringing it up because there's something spicy going on with that vehicle, and I kind of want this to be done quick.
Well, yes, because as he's cutting, in mid-cut, he hasn't finished cutting the tree down. It's at that point he's going to hear, Gearfried! Gearfried! As he turns around and sees Saris out of the vehicle and it just driving itself. Levin, you would have been signaled by that same, and Zarya, you as well, would have been signaled out or signaled by that same event. What would you guys like
Okay,
to do?
all totaled with the roll of 2 plus my proficiency bonus, which is doubled because that, so 8, plus 3 is 13. I'll use a flash of genius to add another 4 onto that, so 17.
All right. It's only going to take you about 5 minutes. But you are still interrupted mid-cut, so after about 2 minutes of cutting, you're signaled into the scene. So you see Saris with arms wide open. You see the vehicle moving by itself, and you hear Fennec calling, Gearfried! Gearfried!
Gearfried will turn and just... He's gonna, like, eyebrows raised and been like, oh, there's no fucking way she caved that soon. Is she actually gonna hug him?
Is he moving in for the hug? I don't know.
Are you moving in for the hug?
He's gonna process for a second, but he will just kind of open his arms and let her come further.
She will step up, grab him by the head, and put him in a sleeper hold.
Go ahead and give me a grappling check. That's contested.
I was gonna say.
Okay. That's when Zarya will interrupt. This was shenanigans until hands are being placed.
Now, Fennec, while this is all going on, have you
Am I
stopped?
doing acrobatics or athletics?
You're trying to escape, so it's your choice.
But I just, like, pick both of them up by the scruff of their shirts.
Let this resolve first,
Yes.
and then you will be able to interfere. Now, as you're rolling, did you stop the vehicle yet?
Oh.
Yes, he was.
Alright, you stop it an inch from hitting a large rock. Look at that. I'm thinking he might escape you on this one.
No! No, you
Holy
won't!
he won't.
shit! Sorry, Fennec.
Can I silvery barbs that?
You certainly can.
He's going to.
Go ahead
Oh,
and roll
man.
again, please.
That's still a plus 15 to start.
I know, but this is wonderful.
She only has to roll. She only has to roll 8 or higher.
Fennec doesn't know that.
Oh, I'm aware. I'm happy that it's happening.
Yeah. I mean, he already has his next move planned if this doesn't work.
You know, when I said you guys will find trouble in the middle of nowhere,
You didn't think it'd be us?
I
Oh
I
no,
knew it
we
would
have
be-
each other.
I knew. That's why I said, like, I can trust you guys to cause chaos. You do still get put into a chokehold.
Wrong hug. Wrong hug. Wrong hug. Kevin.
At that point, Zarya, seeing as she has him almost in that full lock in, what would you like to do to try to intervene?
Just grab the scruff the back of their shirts and pull them apart and up.
Okay.
I will
Question.
avoid this.
Clarifying question: when you grab Fennec by the scruff and pull him, are you pulling him backwards or forwards?
Back,
Into the car?
back it
Because
up.
I was gonna say, because I know Ceres' grip, and you're gonna pop his head off.
We're about to test that.
I was getting there.
Oh god. Can Fennec Misty step before any of this happens?
No, you can't. Can't draw breath to
I'm gonna
vocalize.
say
No, I
not,
already used my reaction.
yeah. I'm gonna say
And Misty
not
Step
yet.
is a.
Right.
I love
You guys
this.
are nuts.
Separate away.
So
Possibly his head from his body.
you try to grab them by the scruffs of their necks, and you're going to try to separate them. Yes. But first, Sarah said she is going to attempt to dodge, so this is going to count as a grappling check. So again, please roll the contested checks. Because you're not necessarily going just purely strength-based, Zarya, I will give you the option also to roll a dexterity. You can argue the skill you want to apply if you want to apply it. Otherwise, you can use strength as well.
Acrobatics. I am being very nimble, getting my hands on Ceres.
I will allow it only because I know she's got a really high modifier, and I don't know if you have a just as high
8.
modifier.
Oh,
So,
we're the same.
okay,
Equal rolls.
go ahead and roll away.
Come on, dice. Damn it. Okay, well, okay. 20. Not Nat. 30, 20, so probably not the best.
I mean, I have to roll a 13 or higher.
Let's see.
I did not.
Oh!
So
Is
you're
that
able
one?
to grab a hold, and now,
It
Ceres,
is.
you are also still wearing a dress right now, right? Or did you change your clothes?
I would have changed my clothes
Okay.
at this point.
So you
I
were
don't need
picked
to
up,
wear the dress out in the middle of nowhere.
just checking, you were picked up by kind of like the scruff of your neck, slightly strangling, and
Collar. Collar of the clothes.
Yeah, I know, but you still pull up. You're still cutting off the throat a little bit. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
just, it's gravity. That's all. So as you're trying to pull them apart, you're going to hear Fennec. Fennec, you're feeling someone pulling your head against her grip. What is your reaction?
Fuck.
I'm
Let's
assuming
go.
it's.
Let's
I'm assuming
go.
it's more like.
Okay, so he feels Sarah still has him in a headlock, and I'm being pulled. Basically, my head's the direction my body's in.
Yep.
At this point, I just gotta shake him a little bit, and I'm like, let go, let go.
I have.
Drop him.
How good is Fennec holding on to concentration for his spell?
Well,
Or spell.
he already stopped the
He already
vehicle.
dropped it.
It's
It's
only
a 1 minute
silver.
concentration.
Oh,
No.
he already stopped the car.
Yeah, so he let it go.
It only lasts a minute, so it would have been done by now.
It hasn't been that long yet, but okay,
No.
you let it go.
Well, I'm assuming. Okay, hold on. What would that be? A concentration
Well,
check?
Ultimately, if
He
you
dropped
didn't
it willingly.
Yeah, if you didn't stop it, it is hitting into a.
No, I mean once everything once the conversation started, he did stop it because he obviously
Okay, so
then he
you were
was.
no
he
longer
was-
concentrating.
Well, there's a difference between stopping the animated object
I-
you control for a minute
I think he
and
did-
letting go of the
Hold on.
concentration of the spell.
He didn't.
I
let go
think
of
he's saying the
concentration.
vehicle is still animated, but it is
Okay.
in the same spot. Wait,
Correct.
Yes. Okay. So
Yeah,
you
I'm
go
trying to
ahead.
break concentration.
Now, as that's going on, Levin and Gearfried, you are seeing all of this unfurling. What is your reactions?
Alright. Alright, Gearfried, get to it. I'll finish up with this tree.
Alrighty, Gearfried's gonna jog up. Oi, put him down! Saris is the instigator on this one. I didn't see it, but I know it.
So like a union.
And I
Drop him.
I would. And then I'm just gonna glance over my shoulder and look at Zarya. I would like to spider monkey around her arm and then sort of Black Widow pin her to the ground.
Before that
Good
happens,
luck.
so since Fennec is still holding hostage, can he make the vehicle take like a sharp turn?
You can.
He will. He will.
You're free.
You are,
Away
going
from
to,
Gearfried.
you are going to hear a grinding sound as that sharp turn has you grinding against the stone that it almost hit before you paused it.
The car?
Yes.
That's what he's worried about.
Gearfried's gonna like, what are you doing? Stop it, stop, stop! And Gearfried's going to try to run to the other side. Do I have any spells here that can aid me with this?
Well, once Fennec hears stop, he will stop. Like, he'll stop the movement.
Gearfried is going to move on to the side that's gotten scratched. How bad's it looking?
It's somewhat deep.
Gearfried
Nothing
will
that
immediately try to
mundane-
cast.
Nothing
He will
that
immediately
you
try to
can't
cast
heal.
mending.
It is
Yeah.
able to heal it in an instant, but you do know that your vehicle was scratched under somebody's watch.
Gearfried's going to look over to where his stuff is, and he's going to whistle. And currently Cogfried is in like his resting mode, so he looks more like an egg than he does like a little critter. But he's going to fold out and do his little dragon form, fly over to Gearfried, and then Gearfried's going to start modifying, making some changes to priority settings. Not saying anything, he's just going to whistle, Cogfried's going to come up, and then Gearfried's just going to open up his chest and start pushing buttons and pulling levers.
Alrighty. So now, concentration is still going unless you drop it.
He's
Saris?
dropping it.
Okay. So the vehicle would completely stop moving. Saris, give me. I'm gonna say maybe an Arcana check, unless Fennec, you're just gonna say, all right, I'm out.
I've stopped paying attention to Fennec. Zarya became my focus now.
So can you drop Fennec?
All right,
Oh yeah,
so
she let him go. So he
Okay,
releases Fennec so she can spider monkey around his arm, like I said, do like a Black Widow
Okay.
type in Zarya.
Which I'm resisting.
Give me a dexterity. All right, so go ahead and give me a contested check. Because you are doing. I'm gonna give you the choice. Saris, would you like to do dexterity or strength based?
I'll do strength based.
All right, go ahead and roll out your contested checks.
What do I roll?
Your choice of dex. I'm gonna say dexterity. You can argue the skill.
Oh, I'm good with dex.
Got to be to 27.
Acrobatics.
I mean, you can still get out of it. how the
The tables
turns
have
table-
turns.
Yes. She just spins Zarya to the ground, and then just leans in real close. If you wanted to play rough, yeah, all you had to do was ask.
Yeah, I kind of expected this would happen. I got you to let go of him at least.
And I got you to hold me. That was fun too.
Ah,
Saris,
Let's
sexual
go then.
harassment training is in our union policy that Fennec and I have created. This strictly goes against that.
wait, you guys have that? I never got any of that shit.
So you're not a part
I'm
of the union, and now it
responsible-
just consists of me and Fennec.
So I guess your rules don't apply to me either. And then she will
Blinks
stand
away.
up and let Zarya go. Maybe next time we
Yep.
can work this out for a longer training session. She gives a big Cheshire Cat smile.
I'm just 5 seconds away from punching you.
Oh,
Don't recommend.
please?
Don't recommend.
Well, that was thoroughly entertaining. Should we be getting on our way now?
Yeah, who's fucking driving?
You're free.
I'll take the first shift, Saris, you can take the second shift. While you're driving, I'll finish fashioning those stilts for you, Fennec, and we'll probably let Zarya drive, given her questionable history with it.
What questionable history? I'm great at driving.
No, it's not the fact that you're great at driving, I just question... You know what, never mind. We're not getting into this again.
I'm so fucking confused.
Fennec will drag himself to wherever Levin is and sit next to him and just kind of like start breathing again and be like, well, that escalated quickly. How was my driving?
And at this point, Levin has sawed down that tree, started stripping the bark, removing the excess branches. I'm sorry, were all of you in the middle of something?
No.
No.
My usual bullshit.
Nope. Nothing to see here.
So you're taking to lying to me now.
What?
Well, there's nothing to see now. No, don't pull that psychiatric stuff on me.
Fennec,
Yeah.
Why did you feel the need to take control of the vehicle?
I've been testing out a couple new spells. I wanted to see how large of an object I could take, and well, it worked that I also got to drive a little bit without having to reach the pedals.
Is requesting permission not a thing?
No,
At least I taught you something, right?
it's better to ask forgiveness.
Did you not join into a union contract deal with Gifford?
Yes, it did.
So, entering into a contract with a person you find an amicable relationship with, and you're already taking their stuff and damaging it.
Technically, I didn't damage it. I had stopped it, and then I was chokeholded, which means I couldn't concentrate, and everything went fuzzy. So the car took that as move forward and turn, and it was self-defense on both me and the car's part, covered in the bylaws.
You're trying to mince words with me to shift the blame onto something else.
Yes.
Fennec, I don't care,
Oh, all right then.
but Gifford does.
I know. Go talk to him.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Carry on.
And you're gonna hear a loud crack as he bends one of the branches to pull away from the shaft of the wood.
And Fennec's just gonna raise his hand. It's okay. It wasn't my neck. I am still alive and well. And he will go over to Gifford.
Gifford, before he heads
Yeah.
over to you, go ahead and give me a vehicle check, please.
Okay. Gonna have to roll this one in D&D Beyond. Would that just be my proficiency bonus? Oh no, I accidentally closed Foundry.
It would be your proficiency bonus and dexterity.
Okay, I will roll a... Okay. There we go. Okay, 18 plus 2 is 20.
Alrighty. Now, I'm also going to need someone, either yourself or someone else, who is going to help you navigate, to give me a survival check.
Whoever's passenger princess has to guide me.
I'm passenger. Fennec will. I don't know. Is anybody else taking a shotgun?
Well, Fennec, you would be entering the scene next to him, because
Okay.
you were going to go talk to him, so I would say go ahead and give me that survival check.
I'm gonna cast guidance on him.
So that's what, a D4 or 4?
Yeah, 1d4. 1d4 extra.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, because even so, like, even if walking or like as they were going, being in the front seat, that's when he would start talking.
You get a d4 extra, and we'll see how that works out for you.
$14.
You're able to keep him on track to head towards Arendusk.
Okay. So, sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Nope. No, you said that I was going to start the conversation with Gearfried.
Alright. So what I'm going to say is, before your go ahead and have your conversation, and then we're going to take a quick break afterwards.
Okay.
So go ahead first.
Alright. So, about my driving back there and scratching the side of the vehicle. As much as I want to blame somebody else, I should have been able to get out of the chokehold before driving further.
I feel like the proper lesson to learn from this is to just not animate the vehicle. That would give me an idea that I might want to pursue a little bit later. But let's try to keep the only mode of transportation that we have intact. I would prefer it that this stays the vehicle that it is. Unless the thing I'm thinking about works.
I understand, and I guess the way I thought of it is there was open area. I can only hold it for so long. I figured it was just a little opportunity to, 1, test my driving, and 2, test this spell that I'm kind of figuring out. But it clearly was too much to handle at the same time. And I apologize for scratching